kids do not need perfect parents, and here's why. Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Millennial Mama Memo, your weekly memo from your favorite Millennial Mama therapist. I'm Lauren, a late diagnosed ADHDer, mom of two, licensed therapist, and founder of Millennial Mama Therapy. I built this space for moms exactly like me who are figuring out who they are on the other side of motherhood. I work with moms all throughout California, and I also host 2 free virtual support groups that are available for moms anywhere. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And if you're a regular, welcome back. Let's get into it. So we are starting off strong with the Millennial Mama Mix, which is a little bit of everything on my radar as a mom and a millennial person. Guys, potty training is hard. And before I say anything more about that, I want to clarify that I am only going to talk about my experiences and feelings as a mom doing this. I'm not going to talk about my child because my child is a baby. Well, she's 2.5. She can't provide consent for me to talk about her information publicly. I am merely talking about me, the adult, because I can consent to talk about this. Potty training is really hard on us as parents. This is my second time doing it, and I think I went into it a little bit Pollyanna. Keep reminding myself it is okay for it to take time, and it is okay that potty training is hard. It is emotionally taxing. It is mentally taxing. We are having to hold space for their feelings and ours while also dealing with extra mess, extra cleanup, and having to be really mentally hyper vigilant. I'm not going to lie. I definitely lost my marbles this weekend and needed to take breaks and had moments where I went, geez, I'm a really terrible mom. So if you are judging yourself, please know that even those of us who are licensed and professionals and work in mental health as a living, we also lose our marbles, and we are not perfect parents. That is something that I feel very strongly about being open about, is that I am not a perfect parent. That brings me to one of the concepts that I learned about in grad school that has stuck with me, and this is the idea of the good enough mother. This concept was created by Donald Winnicott. He was a British pediatrician back in the 50s. The gist of it is this: our kids do not need perfect parents, and here's why. Perfection is not possible. Our kids are not going to experience perfection out in the real world. They are going to experience good enough, and they're also going to experience not good enough. They're going to experience disappointment. And so to make perfection the goal of motherhood, one, not only is that impossible for us, it sets them up for failure because it doesn't give them a reasonable expectation of the real world. So perfection is not the goal. Repair is the goal. And what does repair look like? It looks like me coming to her and saying, hey, I'm really sorry. Mommy had really big feelings and I did not handle my feelings well at all. Mommy needs to learn and grow and do better. Are you okay? Can we talk about this? Can we have a hug? Or whatever the child needs, right? Repair is so important. Perfection should not be the goal. Repair is the goal because we are going to mess up. When we mess up and screw up, we have a really beautiful opportunity to model for our kids what it looks like to repair. So that way, when they screw up, they know they're still whole, they're okay, there's nothing wrong with them, and they can go and make repair for what they messed up. Good enough motherhood, good enough parenthood is the goal. Repair, not perfection. All right, moving into Pink Couch Post-its. These are updates, hot takes, and things worth knowing from the Millennial Mama universe. I'm really excited about this first one, and that's that I have a new partnership opportunity available for my fellow provider pals. And provider pals are just anyone who's in a helping profession. I would love to connect with you and set up some way where we have a partnership where your clients, when they come in to see you, they immediately get a complimentary consultation call with me. This morning, I sent out all the details in Provider Pal Mini Memo, and that is my newsletter specifically for my Provider Pals. So if you're interested in that, you can go to the link in my bio, sign up for that. If you are a provider, I would love to connect with you and chat about ways that we can connect and make it easier for your patients to get the kind of mental health care that they need, maybe even before they realize they need it, because that's actually a very big thing in the perinatal space. New parents do not realize that they need mental health care and support until they're in a crisis because they're drinking from the fire hose. They have so much information being thrown at them. It's information overwhelm and overload. The next thing that I wanted to talk about today is accelerated resolution therapy. So for the last couple of weeks, I've kind of just been giving you a little bit of an overview of all of the different things that I offer. We talked about individual therapy and the back to me method. And last week we talked about consultation calls. So coming back to that idea of a road trip, right? If consultation calls are trip planning, where do we want to go? Is the back to me method the right path for you? Do you like me as a road trip buddy? And if the back to me method is like the roadmap, like this is the, how we're kind of helping you get to where you want to go, accelerated resolution therapy is like a major attraction along the way. Think of it like a glowing oasis in the middle of a desert. You get to go in, get refreshed, and leave feeling significantly better. What exactly is accelerated resolution therapy? Accelerated resolution therapy is a neuroscience backed and based form of memory reconsolidation, which is basically just a fancy way of saying that we're working with memories you have that might be triggering. Maybe they are like big T traumas. Maybe it's things where it's like, it wasn't a trauma, it just is sticking with me and I don't want to keep it. And also, it's really helpful for things that you're dealing with on an ongoing basis. What I love about it is that it is very much like receiving a treatment, in the same way that if you were to wake up and your neck is out of whack, you go to your chiropractor and you get a treatment and you leave feeling significantly better. That's how ART operates. It is the only thing that I have found so far in my career as a therapist where I'm like, I can guarantee you are going to leave session feeling significantly better. Like, we in this time together are significantly reducing your symptoms. Because yes, like talk therapy works, it does, but it's a road trip. It takes time. There's some meandering, there's some altering of the route. You know it's going to take time. It's about building a relationship, piecing the puzzles together, right? Which is wonderful. But like if you've got like a crick in your neck, like we don't want to just talk about the crick in your neck. We actually want to work it out. And that is what accelerated resolution therapy does. You leave feeling significantly better. We actually get to target and work on the thing that is causing you symptoms and distress, and we get to move it out. And it is so freaking cool. I got trained in it in August. If you have been around me in person or even here online at all since, you know that I am insufferable about it. I will not stop yapping about it. And that is because I see such significant results. It is so lovely, especially for parents where you don't have a lot of time. We talked about that last week, making the damn appointments. You don't have a lot of time, right? So coming in and doing one session, leaving feeling significantly better. If we are also doing talk therapy along the way, it also further supports that piece that I talked about last week of we don't have to meet every single week. We get to meet at the pace of your life, your needs, your finances. So that's what I love about ART is restorative stop along the way that just gives you a lot of relief and also gives you clarity about the rest of the journey. And you go, you know what, actually, this stop at this oasis was great. And you know what, that gave me what I needed and I'm done. Cool. Love that for you, because my goal is to work myself out of a job. I don't want you to have to feel like you're stuck with me for forever, because you don't have to be. I want you to be able to go out and live your life and do what feels good for you. All right. So if you have any more questions about ART, feel free to shoot me a message. Basically, in summary, ART is wonderful. I really highly recommend it. Okie dokie, you guys. I have a whole new segment for us today that I'm adding in that I'm really excited about. And this is called the favorites folder. Good stuff that I can't stop talking about that you should know about. So the very first thing that I have in our very first favorites folder is the Prep for Us coaching program. This is put together by my friends Mike and Chelsea Skaggs over at Postpartum Together. And what Prep for Us is a coaching program designed for couples. So for both partners to attend and to talk through during pregnancy and before baby comes, how to prepare for life afterward. Their very first cohort starts this week, so I will put up a story with a link in it so that way you can find them, but highly recommend checking them out. Okay, my friends, this brings us to the end, which, as you know, is called One Last Thing. And that one last thing is I have space for new clients. I have consultation calls available every single week. You can go to the link in my bio to book a consultation call and view my availability. And like we talked about last week, consultation calls are road trip planning. So you are seeing if the back to me method that I utilize, my framework for going through the process of therapy, if it's a right fit for you, as well as seeing if I'm a right road trip buddy for you. And as a reminder, I do not require weekly therapy. That is not something that I believe is necessary for moms unless there's a clinical reason. Most of my clients come in at max every 3 weeks. Most people are closer to coming in every 4, 5, 6 weeks. So anyway, if any of that sounds good to you, I would love to chat with you. You can find me at the link in my bio. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you have a wonderful week,